This is not the whole life of Reba and I. This is not our life. This is a condition that happened through birth.
Just now, something horrific unfolded with conjoined twins, Lori and Reba. Inside a snug, familiar room, they were set to unveil a deeper truth beyond ordinary twin curiosities. The film crew, initially unsure if they were invading privacy, saw how perfectly in tune their lives were. From the shared, cozy bedroom to their respectful privacy measures in the bathroom. Yet, what if this deep connection posed a grave danger? Let's uncover the horrifying event in their bathroom that turned their bond into a nightmare. The intimate world of conjoined twins. In a small, cozy room where everything felt familiar and warm, Lori and Reba were about to share a glimpse of their life, something much deeper than the usual curiosity people have about twins. When the filming crew first arrived, they were a bit skeptical, wondering if they were invading the twins' privacy or learning something meaningful about the lives of conjoined twins. As the camera zoomed in, Lori whispered to Reba, "Should we tell them about the lake?" As soon as they entered, the crew was shown a modest bed, the center of Lori and Reba's shared life. This was where they slept every night, surrounded by soft pillows and warm blankets. While sleeping is just an everyday thing for most people, for them, it was a quiet symbol of how in sync their lives were. The crew's doubts started to fade as they saw how gracefully Lori and Reba managed their life together. Next, the crew was shown the bathroom. Here, Lori and Reba demonstrated how much they respected each other's privacy, even in such close living conditions. They had come up with a clever way to shower separately, despite being physically connected. By using a carefully placed shower curtain, they managed to give each other the privacy that most people take for granted, a luxury in their unique situation. As the crew continued, they entered a room that was all Reba's, a space filled with musical instruments and the lingering sound of melodies. This was her retreat, a place where she could dive into her music and prepare for performances. In this room, Reba found a sense of peace, where she could enjoy being alone with her thoughts and creativity, even though she wasn't technically alone. Right next to this musical room, Lori found her own kind of solitude. While she was physically in the same house, she mentally gave Reba space when she was practicing. Lori respected her sister's artistic sanctuary without ever having to say a word. They had an unspoken agreement, always understanding when the other needed some personal space. Their story shows that even when lives are closely linked, privacy and personal space can still thrive when there's love and respect. Life often teaches us that we can't always get what we want, exactly when we want it. Learning to compromise is key, and this is true for everyone, including us. Reba and her sister were often seen as more than just two individuals. They were viewed as a spectacle due to their unique physical connection at one spot. Despite this, they considered themselves just ordinary people. Born conjoined, it was a fact of their existence, but it was merely one aspect of their lives. To them, it wasn't a defining characteristic. People who met them tended to focus intently on their physical bond, often overlooking who they were beyond that. Being seen as our own person means a lot to me. Even simple things, like the color and style of our hair, are different because they show our unique personalities. But none of this independence would have been possible without our parents. They raised us to understand that, conjoined or not, we're just like any other siblings who spend time together. They had gotten used to this over the years, even though it never felt quite normal. Some people would come up to them and start a conversation out of curiosity, while others simply stared without saying anything. A common question they faced was whether the death of one twin would lead to the death of the other. This idea was actually a misunderstanding. In fact, if something went wrong, doctors could potentially save one or both by separating them surgically. Their particular type of connection didn't involve sharing any major organs, only blood circulation. Next, we dive into a rare story of togetherness, the story of twins bound by more than just DNA. But that wasn't the most difficult part. The twins also had to answer endless questions about what-if situations. People often asked if they would have chosen to be separated had they been born when technology was more advanced. Despite the possibility of separation, the twins felt comfortable in their own skin. They believed in the idea of not trying to fix something that wasn't broken and cherished the life they had, challenges and all. Still, there were moments when they couldn't help but wonder how things might have been different. But each time, they reminded themselves of how far they had come. Laurie had always dreamed of a simple, happy future, getting married, settling down, and raising a family. It was something she had thought about for as long as she could remember. She pictured her life, filled with the sound of children's laughter and the warmth of a home she could call her own. Reba, on the other hand, saw things a little differently. To her, Laurie's future husband would be like family too, almost like a brother-in-law. In Reba's mind, she would always be there, but more on the sidelines, cheering Laurie on in her marriage while staying emotionally distant. From her past experiences, Reba knew where her boundaries were and felt confident she could keep a healthy distance, supporting Laurie without getting too involved. At that exact moment, the clock hit 7:25. The radio played "The Fear of Being Alone" by Reba McEntire, announced by Brother Weems and Casey Ellen on Country 105. The song, with its heartfelt lyrics about loneliness and love, probably struck a chord with people like Laurie and Reba, who were grappling with their own ideas of companionship and solitude. But this wasn't the most striking thing happening that day. Far away in Reading, Pennsylvania, there was a fascinating story unfolding. Two identical twin women had been raised under the same roof, with the same upbringing. You'd think they would grow up to be exactly the same, right? Science might suggest that too, but life, as it often does, had other plans. Despite their shared genes and identical childhoods, the twins were each creating their own, very different lives. This shows how unpredictable life can be. Even when everything seems the same on the surface, people can grow in completely different directions. It's a reminder that no two lives are ever truly alike, no matter how much they may seem at the start. Conjoined twins indeed captivate the imagination as a rare medical phenomenon. Their rarity is underscored by the fact that they occur in only about 1 in every 200,000 live births. Their unique and remarkable nature stems from their sharing of body parts and sometimes organs, depending on where they are joined. The world has seen varying cases, ranging from twins joined at the head to those connected at the torso, each presenting its own challenges and medical intricacies. You might occasionally see someone with a small extra feature, like a second nose or an extra eye, maybe hidden under a shoulder pad, or perhaps an extra finger. But it's very rare to see two fully formed people joined together, whether at the head or sharing a body. It must be incredibly hard for them to get through daily life, so they probably stay out of the spotlight. In the vast expanse of the human population, the presence of conjoined twins remains a rarity. Estimates might suggest around 30 pairs worldwide, a testament to the extraordinary nature of such occurrences. While the exact number can fluctuate and is difficult to pinpoint precisely, the rarity underscores a unique intersection of genetic and developmental paths. Some might speculate that environmental factors, such as radiation from nuclear power plants, could influence the likelihood of such anomalies. However, this connection is more a subject of conjecture rather than scientific consensus. As each pair of conjoined twins navigates their shared and individual lives, their existence offers a profound glimpse into the complexities of human biology and the bonds that define us. a life shared in more ways than one. But here's the thing, it seems like we hear more about cases in places like India. That's where my mind immediately goes. You see news stories about Indian children who are conjoined, usually at the head. Could it have something to do with the food they eat there? Maybe it's related to environmental factors. So how many conjoined twins are actually alive today? Give me a second. Okay, I found a list. It looks like there are around 25 pairs of living conjoined twins. But is this just a selected list, or is it all of them? It turns out it's just a list of some cases. Many conjoined twins don't survive long after birth. The oldest pair made it to 62 years old, and one of them was even transgender. There's a lot of fascinating stories like this out there. Once, there was a lively conversation about a country song that someone remembered from an old Jerry Springer show. It had been over 100 years since that show aired, but the memories were still strong. The group laughed and joked, not just about the music, but about life's funny moments and the unexpected things that happen on live TV. They teased each other about how hard it can be to keep your balance in life, just like trying not to fall after stumbling. As the laughter continued, the conversation turned to even stranger topics, like conjoined twins. These twins didn't just share a physical connection. Their lives were deeply intertwined in a way that almost seemed magical. The group talked about the possibility of separating twins through surgery right after birth. Even though medical science has come a long way, the risks involved were hard to ignore. There's no guarantee that both twins would come out healthy and safe. But their bond was about more than just their bodies. It was about their shared experiences, emotions, and understanding, something no surgery could take away. As the conversation moved from serious to lighthearted again, someone joked about what it would be like if a simple cough could bring out another sibling, like a hidden triplet that no one knew about until that moment. They also imagined how it would feel to always have someone by your side, part sibling, part protector, facing life's unique challenges together. But this wasn't the strangest part of the conversation. The twins began to talk about the balance between staying connected and wanting their own individuality. They wondered if being separated would give them more freedom, or if it would take away something they couldn't replace. The group, including the twins' family and friends, talked about these big decisions with a mix of humor, care, and respect for each other's opinions. Through it all, there was an unspoken understanding. Life is a delicate balance of holding on to what we know while being curious about what we don't. Jerry had faced many challenges, but nothing quite like the sleep struggles that plagued his friend. For many, falling asleep is as simple and effortless as drawing a breath, a nightly ritual that rejuvenates and restores. Yet, imagine a scenario where this basic necessity becomes an insurmountable challenge, where the night brings no solace, but rather a restless anticipation for a dawn that feels too far away. In Jerry's circle, there was a couple whose bond was deep and unwavering. Night after night, they shared dreams and silence in equal measure, finding comfort in each other's presence. Sleep for them was more than rest. It was a shared journey through the quiet hours of darkness. The story continues, revealing life's deeper truths. The restless nights of uneasy slumber. Typically, the person found solace in various sleeping positions, preferring to lie on their left side, back, or stomach. However, their nights became fraught with difficulty due to their partner's inability to sleep. The partner, afflicted by a condition that robbed her of rest, spent nights in distress, her legs elevated, suffering from a missing neural function essential for sleep. Her pain was vivid and unending, its cries piercing the silence every time the person tried to find repose. Their sleeping schedules diverged significantly since their lives took a turn. The person's own sleep was restless, marked by constant shifting. Unlike the deeper, more stable rest they once enjoyed. In their relationship, the partner usually took the lead, her presence and demeanor more commanding. When it came to health, the dynamics between them were just as varied. The person was prone to catching ailments quickly, their body susceptible to every passing bug. In stark contrast, their partner Reba boasted a robust immune system, rarely falling ill, which underscored the disparities in their physical resilience. These differences shaped their nocturnal experiences, highlighting the isolation each felt in their own way during the long, challenging nights. George, who used to be called Reba, began the important journey of becoming his true self. This journey involves several steps, each one connected to the other. It starts with George reflecting on who he really is, spending time alone to explore his identity. In these private moments, he might try out his new name or practice speaking in a different voice. This part of the process is quiet and personal, something that happens when no one else is around. As George grows more comfortable with himself, he starts sharing his true self with others. He might begin by telling his close friends and family, asking them to use his new name and the pronouns that match his identity. Out in public, his appearance begins to shift. The clothes he chooses now reflect the man he feels he is on the inside. His voice might change too, becoming deeper, more in line with how he sees himself. But it's not just about personal and social changes. Legally, George also needs to update his identity. This means changing his name and gender on official documents like his driver's license, social security information, and even his birth certificate. Each document changed is one more step toward having his true self recognized not only by those around him, but also by the legal system. On the physical side, George may choose to make changes to his body that better align with his gender identity. This might involve taking hormones that can help him grow facial hair or change the pitch of his voice. Surgeries could also be an option, such as chest surgery to remove breast tissue or other procedures that help his body reflect how he feels inside. But this isn't the toughest part. The real challenge often comes from the emotional ups and downs along the way. While there is joy in becoming who he truly is, George also faces fear and frustration, whether it's because of how others react or the legal obstacles he has to deal with. That's why the support he gets from friends, family, and medical professionals is so important. They provide the strength he needs to continue on this journey. Every choice George makes, from the clothes he wears to the medical steps he takes, is personal and deeply meaningful. These choices are ways for him to express who he truly is and show his strength and determination. Each part of this journey helps him live not as someone others expect him to be, but as the person he really is, celebrating his true self every single day. Moving forward, we uncover the changes that define us. A path through images and reflections. In the sea of images before their eyes, each snapshot feels hauntingly familiar, as if mirroring fragments of a past forgotten or perhaps a future yearning to be recognized. The multitude of choices becomes an echoing reminder of the vastness and complexity of identity, stirring a deep, unsettling curiosity within them about their own essence. Amid this exploration, they grapple with a profound realization. The body they inhabit doesn't seem to resonate with the spirit that stirs within. It's a dissonance that casts a shadow over their existence, a puzzling sense of being an outsider within one's own skin. The question of identity, especially one's gender identity, looms large, reminiscent of being cloaked in a garment tailored for another. The world, it seems, heaps challenge upon them, testing their resilience, their very understanding of self. Mistakes, they reflect, are merely part of the human tapestry, threads that sometimes twist in unexpected directions. They recalled tales from television, like those of Laurie and Dory from an episode of Jerry Springer. Figures who navigated the turbulent waters of identity and transformation. Dory, who later adopted the name Reba, and Laurie, who embraced a male identity and a passion for country music, possibly influenced by iconic tunes and twangs of the genre. Changes like altering hair color were simple markers, ways to signal shifts in identity and invite onlookers to witness the evolution of their personas. It's a narrative of change, of becoming, that they muse upon while planning to blend and shift their own aesthetic. George, contemplating this from a seat, imagines a future where his physical appearance could morph just as dramatically, though his legs remain slender, an unaltered trait amidst the transformation. The story of Laurie and Dory, or Reba, ends in a whisper of mystery. They are no longer here. Their digital footprints, like their physical ones, have faded. Yet their story, marked by change and the quest for authenticity, lingers, a poignant reminder of the fluidity and fleeting nature of life and identity. Maybe they were separated too quickly. No one's really saying exactly how it happened. Could it have been a guerrilla attack, a gang fight, or maybe a skydiving accident? But here's the thing, if one dies, the other goes too. It's like a double tragedy. Funny how our minds go straight to thinking about crimes. Do you think they each had their own soul? Or maybe they just shared one, and the divine decided not to give them both their own? Let me tell you about a truly unique situation. Two people sharing the same body, or more accurately, two bodies connected as one. These two women are married, each with her own head, but everything below that is shared. Organs, body structure, everything. Once someone inquired about seeing more conjoined twins from various parts of the world, fueled by their fascination after watching a video of singing twins. The video displayed the twins off-key singing, which was rather difficult to appreciate. This person humorously pondered the predicament of one twin unable to escape the other's singing, likening it to being trapped with an inescapable noise. As they continued watching, a tinge of sadness washed over them, dampening their appetite, especially at the thought of children witnessing this. They imagined children possibly being confused or frightened by such a sight. In a different scenario, envision entering a quaint bed and breakfast, only to be greeted by a conjoined twin as the receptionist, an undoubtedly unique encounter. This spurred them to further explore adult conjoined twins' lives, noting that many twins are separated during childhood. Their search led them to another video featuring young twins who appeared surprisingly ordinary, challenging some of the typical expectations associated with conjoined twins. The discovery sparked a deeper reflection on the emotional complexities faced by parents of conjoined twins. The thought of personally navigating such a rare and challenging condition stirred a profound sense of empathy and contemplation within them. What do you think? Is society's understanding of conjoined twins shaped more by curiosity or compassion? Comment your thoughts below and don't forget to subscribe for more.